better than crying alone in my room. So
We're gonna no, hold on. We're gonna start it on that because so welcome to podcast 14.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
15.
they were doing a barber set,
15.
whatever. 15?
Barbershop quartet.
No, it's 14.
13 just came out.
Yeah, so
Oh,
this makes
yeah.
14.
This is 14.
Yeah, so
We're no longer doubling up.
yeah, well, yeah. So we normally do this every other week, but anyways, welcome. This is the SQSA. Some stupid questions, stupid answers. Starting from our left here, we have
John.
And it's Kyle.
Andrew.
Bilbo.
You did that already.
Bilbo again?
Bilbo.
Come up with something.
Stanley.
Bilbo Stanley.
Yeah, different Bilbo.
Like
not the same.
related to the Kubricks?
No, he works at the office across the street. You don't know him. You saw him one time in passing.
There's a pond across the street. Is that the office? Or
He lives in the pond.
He
He
lives
lives
in
in
the
the
pond?
pond. He feeds the ducks. The ducks feed him. It's a mutual understanding.
Wait, does he
Wait,
migrate?
are you telling me that he's a parasite?
Does he migrate? Because there are no ducks there
Are you
now.
speaking in the third person?
Leave me alone when I'm doing my duck
So
business.
that was what was in the hot dish tonight. It was pond duck.
Wait, what's the difference between pond duck and normal duck?
Pond
I
duck?
will,
and
I will let you
duck
decide that for yourself.
and Peking duck?
Yes.
Peking duck.
Peking
So-
duck. Pond king duck.
When you said Bilbo, did you go, oh crap?
A little bit. You think I plan these ahead? I do not. He says his name like name.
And we used to go slow, but now we just rest through and you
Yeah,
have blank
nothing.
stare.
I'm getting attacked. I'm just a man sitting by a pond eating the ducks. Leave me alone.
I was going to mention that my parents' dog name is Stanley. And so you
Yeah.
know, maybe that's why they're feeding you.
Any place for the
Yeah,
Kubricks?
maybe.
Anyway,
Food.
so each of us comes in here with a stupid question to ask, and we're going to go through that. Otherwise, we also have some improv trivia and a couple of audience questions to bring up later. So, John, why don't you get us started?
Sure.
As you're swallowing.
Yeah. If you were to be sent back in time, yes, time travel,
Mm-hmm.
and you were going to spend the rest of your life in that time period, what time do you think you could have the greatest impact, like change all of history?
Oh, so not which one would you want to be?
Yeah.
I would be definitely selfish. There'd be no way I'd be changing time. No, I'd be in the Roman Colosseum stands right next to the Emperor Palpatine, who was ever the emperor at that
Sure.
time. I'd be just like, I know how this is going to turn out. I've seen Gladiator. the
You've
movie.
seen this one.
Spartacus will win. He will kill you when you look over to the Emperor. And that's when I made my fateful
But
the fateful
And then
mistake.
you change history and you
Yeah.
die instead.
Yes.
what if
And I'll be known to all history.
what if Palpatine does like the Order 66 or whatever?
This is Rome.
But
Yes.
Palpatine, you said is here.
All the
No.
Padawans are dead in Rome.
All the Padawans are all the Roman Padawans.
They definitely.
Kyle killed all of the Roman Jedi.
Yeah, they were all.
Mm.
They all had metachlorians.
All right.
No, if I had to say a
They're
time
called the
period,
Greeks.
if I had to do a time period, like I have to pick one that I actually would be able to at least use advanced knowledge at some point.
Yeah.
So I can't go that far back. So I probably only go back like to the 90s.
This is how the
You already
internet
lived through
works.
the 90s.
Yeah,
Why
but
do
I-
you want to do that again?
But
I think-
now I know the .com era is coming up.
Yeah.
you just want to make money.
Yeah.
So you remember like the movie, I think it was like Hot Tub Time Machine or whatever, where the guy like he goes and invents his own Google.
Mhm.
Like I'm just gonna be that guy. I'm gonna know about the 2009 housing crash. I'm gonna know about that. So I might not make my difference is gonna be I'm gonna be richer than other people first.
Yes.
You're going to have
Well-
all the copyright claims.
I had the thought that like if I was going to, my original instinct was to say back to 2009 so I could get it on Bitcoin. But then I thought about it and I was just like, you know what? I'm probably that if I did go back in time, if future me is referencing me right now for the Bitcoin era, I'm probably that guy that lost like 300 million, probably now like $4.8 billion worth of Bitcoin on a hard drive somewhere, where I accidentally threw away the wrong hard drive.
Well, my concern with going that far back is some of the amenities that we take advantage for, you're not going to have, like toilets and sanitation.
No, this isn't when
But
you
I'm
want
next to
to
the
go back.
emperor.
Yeah.
I have my own toilet slave.
But you have to try to take leadership there. How would you do that?
I'm
You
smarter
mean-
than most
yeah.
people in the.
Well, yeah,
This is how an engine works.
Yeah, I know an engine, but
Yeah.
that's like 3 steps ahead of anything they have.
They
Yeah,
have
but you would
water
still you
filtration.
would technically be a wizard. Although that would also probably be a bad thing because like if
Yeah,
you're a
black
wizard,
magic.
that means that you like that you're the first one to die when they're like the heretic.
Oh, you can be the advisor to the king that eventually just backstabs and kills him.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I was to go back in time, I'd go back before the dawn of man, before like our early ancestors even existed.
Step on a fish.
I would teach hamsters to use fire, or their early ancestors of hamsters, to ensure a race of like intelligent hamsters in the distant future.
So
can teach them.
you would
You
make
think-
the future for the Kia commercials.
Yes. That, I mean, we would have to suffer the great hamster guinea pig wars at some
Well,
point.
no,
That's fine. That'd
No,
be
but
adorable.
they would probably have snuffed out any potential for humans then, and therefore
fine.
you wouldn't exist.
Yeah, paradoxes can figure that out.
Yeah.
It's not my department.
Paradoxes are not a
No,
people.
he's stuck back there anyway.
I'm stuck back there anyways, teaching hamsters to rub two sticks together. I'm very busy. I got no time for all that nonsense.
Do
There's
hamsters
just
have thumbs?
Yes.
in the future of the hamster civilization, they uncover the lost cradle of their civilization. It's just you sitting in the middle of a cave, surrounded by thousands of hamsters, and you have two sticks in your hand.
This is how you do it, guys. We'll get this.
You stupid bastards! Why don't you learn how to make fire yet?
He's trying to hold their little hands. Hold this stick, damn it.
The cave writings on the walls are the great creator.
We thought it was God. It was just Michael on a fool's errand.
Teaching hamsters the way of the future.
Ironically, that's the future we just have right now. You failed. You already tried. It's
No,
over.
what?
Yeah, no, that is
The multiverse
Yeah.
thing.
The question was, when could you have the greatest impact? And
That's a lot of
apparently-
impact.
Apparently, Michael had no impact at all.
No.
He had impact,
He
believe me.
tried.
They couldn't get rid of the sticks. They try. They wouldn't pay attention. Hamsters have very short attention spans, turns out.
Well, they also don't have that many brain cells, and their brains are pretty small.
They'll work on that. They got time.
so you're going to
Lots of time.
try to influence and almost accelerate evolution.
Yeah.
On your puny human lifespan.
Yeah.
Well, Argo, that's that. The answer is yes.
You know what? He's trying to teach hamsters how to make like fire.
Yeah.
I think logic went out the window in that one a long time ago.
It failed because I couldn't figure it out either. So this isn't working.
Oh, so the archaeological site is is like, this man, he hadn't eaten food for 36 days before he died.
No, that's what happened. I failed teaching the hamsters because I got frustrated and got hungry. And I ate the hamster followers. Like, come here. Go.
Oh my God. It's like that Futurama episode with Bender being God, except with him being mostly benevolent. You just turn to eat them.
Hungry. And they look so moist and delicious.
I want to see.
Moist hamsters?
Oh no.
Yeah, like turkeys.
I guess in a kid. What?
Turkeys? No,
Yeah, that's what it always says on the turkey. It's like young and moist. Mm-mm.
that's because turkeys aren't.
Yeah,
Do they hose
They're
them down?
like uniformly dry
Yeah.
meat.
do they
Oh, if you cook it wrong.
hose the turkeys down before they?
Well, I like.
Well, you hope that they wash them.
I want to see it though that he goes back in time to teach them fire, and then like as he sits down for their like fire 101, he realizes he doesn't know how to do fire.
Yes.
Wait a minute. I have to rub these six
Yeah.
together, and then they're all running around little circles.
It's like, let me teach you how to make fire. Which one
Well,
of you has a big light?
And
The prehistoric hamsters are just like,
and if this is the case, like if humanity hadn't even evolved yet,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're probably not even hamsters.
No, they're like the prehistoric
Yeah,
hamsters.
they're probably like 8 stories tall.
No, like the
no,
better to hold the sticks
mammals.
with.
like
Mammals
Scrat
were
from
small.
Ice Age.
Yeah, mammals are pretty small back
Yeah.
in the day.
Yeah.
Like mammoths.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty small. In relative size to today's elephants, they're pretty small.
I don't
Hamsters
want
with
a
tusks.
civilization of mammoths.
they're
That's
fuzzy.
terrifying.
They were fuzzy. They were a lot
But
of
they
fuzz.
hamsters with tusks. And then they can,
Mm.
and then they're like they're butting heads and they're
Hamsters.
spearing things.
What?
They're very big predators.
The big-horned
They're
hamsters.
predators.
Horned hamsters.
The hamster predators.
Mm.
Hey, we did that. We did it with dogs and cats.
We
Yeah.
taught them how to be predators?
No, they were predators, and then we just made them our bitch.
Yeah, I didn't think that's
That's
how it
true,
worked
we
with
kinda did.
hamsters.
I think they kind of
We didn't
self-bitch.
domesticate the wild hamsters to keep them from killing our livestock.
I would.
We cut their wings.
You first, and then I'll go.
I'm just imagining a future in which hamsters are riding domesticated people. Like we're just like their pack animals. They're like, carry me.
Oh, that's
When
where this is going. Some weird fetish thing. Yeah.
No,
okay.
you just got, like,
I was gonna say something else.
hamsters on your shoulders, and they're like galloping you around.
Wait,
Galloping?
people gallop?
Wait.
Okay, you're saying people galloping, but you're going dun da da dun da da dun. That's four
It
noises.
is 4 legs.
Wait, you got to do it fast.
Is everyone equipped with coconuts?
the hamsters have little or no, the
No, the
person.
people have coconuts. Want to
While
show
they're running with the hamsters on them. Yeah. That's the future we should have.
all of us being slaves to hamsters.
Yes.
That's the future you want.
Yes.
Well, all right then.
Okay.
Well, I think your question just turned into answering his fantasy of a world.
In a world.
In a world where Michael is ridden by hamsters,
I would watch that movie
Yeah.
if it was like the Attack of the Killer Hamsters, and it's just the same movie, just with hamsters instead of tomatoes. I'd watch it. I totally would.
they already made a movie about that. It's Critters.
I've
You know,
never seen that.
You never seen that? It's from the 1980s, and it's basically little aliens that are basically little fur balls that are all mouth, and they eat people
Bigger
down to
teeth than
bones.
hamsters.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
It's actually a lot of fun. I like that movie a lot. It's really campy.
that's the prehistoric hamsters.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, anyway, okay, we beat that one to death.
Like a hamster.
So, all right,
With 2 sticks.
Kyle, what is your question?
So today is I don't know. I don't think we said so before. It might have been in pre-roll, but today is Valentine's Day, and yesterday was the Super Bowl. So I got to do my little think-a-thinking.
Oh no.
And so why don't we merge the two and turn The Bachelor and The Bachelorette into contact sports? Not that kind of contact. Like blood sport.
I wasn't
contact.
actually thinking that, but then you put it in my head.
Yeah,
So
but like blood sport
strongest
contact.
man meets strongest woman.
Yeah, but they have to like fight each other.
Wait,
it's
they have to
like-
fight each other?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's not the
Valid-
winner, the survivors
Well,
get to
so
mate?
so like in the
Evolution.
it's like that Harambe meme where like the monkey is just like found wife, hit wife,
It's
wife hit back,
I just
threw wife off cliff,
This is gonna hurt chances of dating.
sad, wife gone.
That is what happens when you murder your wife.
I want
But-
to. It's going to be the Bachelor Darwin edition.
Yes.
Yeah. But like with like boxing gloves with like brass knuckles hidden in them and like all the bachelors or
Why
all
the
the
gloves,
bachelorettes.
I'm just the end
But
of the
like
ep-
it's like Blood Bowl from 40K, but like with like really attractive people, but they're just beating the ever-loving hell out of each
I
other.
want to see that the end of the episode is just the one person dragging the other into another room, putting the sock on them, and closing the door.
No.
My kill.
My kid is dead. This has gotten even worse.
Oh, it's Bachelor Cannibal edition.
Oh no. Not again.
Nuh-uh, necrophilia edition.
Literal survival.
Not sure which is worse.
I mean, I guess that would be kind of fun. No,
Argo's like, you know what? I'd watch that.
no, I'm thinking the original premise of having like some show like where it's like The Bachelor, but for like WWE,
Turned into like The Bachelor, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
like date a wrestler. Like that, oh dude, that would be great. Like if WWE had their, that'd be great.
That would actually be pretty great.
And it had to be like you have
You had like
I don't-
storylines.
I don't know of any of the current guys, but like way back you had like Chris Angle or something pops up and he's the Bachelor and they don't even pull any wrestler women. They just like regular ones. And then all he does is throw them around. Oh, I'd watch that. I can definitely see that. I don't know if that would quite have another season.
Does anybody here
Not
wonder
necessarily.
why we're single about
Yeah.
Well, it has nothing to do with my wish for blood sports between couples.
and I hope
It's
that
because we haven't won at Bloodsport yet.
the bed
Culturally,
has
it's not norm.
the bed has the ropes on the outside. Like it's a big square bed with the ropes on the outside, and like anytime they go to bed, they climb up the corner and then they like do an elbow drop onto the pillow. And then they go. Maybe that's how wrestlers
Onto
go to
the
sleep.
pillow?
I mean, the pile driver is a wrestling move, but it's also a wrestling move.
Can they even do that one anymore?
No.
Then what was it? Kane's was like Tombstone.
No, we're gonna pause.
Oh no,
No, it's fine.
John's,
we're gonna comment on John's ice shaking.
John's
I didn't need it to be
making
shaken.
martinis, and so I just love his look on his face. So
I was like, he was stirred.
he's just like,
Not James Bond.
anyways,
God
Got a
bless,
rattle.
God bless you,
Forest
John.
from the street.
very noisy drink, but they are pretty good.
Making martinis, shaken not stirred.
Wait, is it? This is. I can drink this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What do you think it was?
I don't know.
All right. Well, Michael, do you have any comments on Kyle's thing?
That sounds
Bloodsport.
wonderful. I can't wait to participate.
So where would you? What would your arena be?
Oh, I'd be dead in like the first 3 minutes, but it's gonna be a good time.
Okay.
I don't. Okay. Then why would you want to participate?
In the field of women, you would be dead first.
Because at least I wouldn't die alone. It's my only chance.
I'm still kind of
I'm just imagining that woman who's got the world record for crushing watermelons between her thighs.
There's some weird world records out there.
Mhm.
I'm still kind of
That's
confused.
that's just Michael. There's like your head's just like a grape.
Still kind of
That's one
confused
way
on the
to go.
concept.
One way to go out.
Because you seem to be saying man versus woman, and my thought was
No, I was originally thinking like a field of like one gender like vying for the top dog, but it's blood sport.
Yeah.
That's what Michael was going for.
yeah, but then you said at the end, the strongest man and the strongest woman, they just fight, and
Somebody dies.
I feel like I was just going with the flow at that point.
That's a bad start to the relationship.
It's not because it's whoever gets to.
Well, John did kind of take it that direction of like turning it into like the Darwin Award for for the strongest. I like the like snoo. It'd be called snoo snoo. Or what was
It
this
was
stuff?
Snoo Snoo.
Snoo. That was it.
Death
That was
by
from
Snoo
Futurama.
No, that would just be the name of the show. It'd be snoo snoo.
The show would be called. I'd watch it. That'd be great.
I really don't know if I want to take that topic any
Yeah,
further.
you can go on. Yes,
Let's
take your gun.
So mine was actually fairly simple. And it was, do you know that game that they have? I think it was the Rooster Teeth guys made of $1 million butt.
$1 million butt.
No, it's $1 million butt. So it's always about you get $1 million butt. There's this other thing. And so I was kind of going with that premise, but I just simplified it of if you had to have two things removed from your life and it had to be internet or alcohol, which would you choose?
Alcohol.
Really?
Yeah.
You
I'm
remove
the same.
alcohol completely.
Hmm?
How would you get through your day?
Porn.
Rapping. He's rapping with these answers because he knows what he wants.
Like if I lost the internet, you got nothing. You drink yourself into a death.
That's what.
He does have a point. It's very difficult to internet yourself to death.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
My grandmother, and I've mentioned this before, she legit asked me, what would you do if you didn't have all these computers that you have today? What would you do with yourself? And I said, I'd probably drink more. It's like, yeah, that's what we did.
I'd become. Oh yeah, I remember those days out near the coal mines. Basically, the only thing to get us by was the drinking.
My grandmother is 87. She drinks like a fish. Like she is a heavy drinker.
Yeah.
Oh, so if that was changed to where it was only for 1 year.
Only for 1 year?
Yeah.
Well, it's even easier for alcohol.
Really?
Yeah. No,
Because it'd be really easy to get through that year if you were just drinking your way through
it's
it.
really easy to work without alcohol. It's much more difficult to work without internet.
Depends on your job. You can find a beer tester.
Just dig holes your whole life. I'm sure you'll be fine.
I feel like the internet is a very big crutch.
Well, and I guess from internet perspective, I'm more thinking from a recreational perspective. I mean, obviously, if you have a job, you're going to be forced to, have some kind of an aspect of that.
No email
It's not
for
like
a year.
It's not like you're going to be like, I'm sorry, boss, but I can't go on the Google.
Well,
No.
that's just it. Like when I'm at work, I would not be able to get through my day if I couldn't stop to look at some like cute horse pictures or something.
You could download them like prior. Like you.
But that's using the internet.
No,
you
like
just have a book.
yeah. You don't have
You print out.
Michael.
Print out
How
the
many
internet.
Yeah.
how many horse pictures do you have saved on your phone?
Not that many actually.
Well, that's all you need though, because you just go. You already forget every day as soon as the day starts. So you just scroll through it. It's like a whole new horse
Yeah. There you go.
Horse a day calendar.
a day calendar. We do have one. It's kind of old though, and
Yeah.
so our calendar from last year ran out. It'd be like we're out of the days, and so he flips it to the derpy day, and then just lets us stay on that one.
You noticed.
Yeah, because that was obvious.
I thought you had a horse a month calendar.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, it was a horse a month, but he flipped it to the one that just had the one that he wanted, and then he just left it there because I don't have a
expired
replacement.
now? We need a new calendar with horses on it.
Yeah, it's an expired derpy.
It's fine.
You can't use it. No,
Yeah.
it's expired.
Nope, you got to throw her out.
It's like grocery stores where it's the Best Buy that don't mean nothing.
Wait, does that mean you have to cut off the bad parts?
There's no bad parts.
It's
fine.
expired.
It doesn't mean nothing.
Yeah, if it's moldy,
Yeah.
you just got to remove a Hoover to 3.
Oh, this is getting dark.
No, I think this is the point where just any mold, you just throw out the whole derpy.
Toss
Just
her
in the
out.
trash
Yeah,
can,
yeah.
looking all sad. Like, no, I saw a little bit of something growing over there.
Yeah.
Like, please, sir.
No, can't trust it.
So sad. Sad now.
Yeah, for mine, I actually don't know what I would answer on that because I feel like I think it would be hard. I mean, I think yes, it would be. I would say no internet or no alcohol, but oh god,
Do you not
That would
remember the
suck.
last time you were consistently sober?
I mean,
Is that the issue?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't always mean to call back to my time in Georgia, but I was without alcohol for 8 months.
And with
So because I went cold turkey 2 months before I left. So
it's one thing if you're going about your life as normal and then you remove something from it, but if you're somewhere where you're in a whole different place, getting your ass kicked for a while, I don't think the thing on your mind is, you know what would be nice, a beer.
no, that was on my mind a lot. There were entire evenings where we were just sitting in foxholes. We're just like, man, if I could have a Coors Light, like that shit's awful.
Oh
But
no,
like anything, like it's just like anything.
thinking of that, like because I knew
That's
that.
how you get through warfare. You just fantasize about the things you can't have.
and that bottle of whiskey that you snuck in.
I wish.
And thinking about so I knew that question would be a little shorter, but then that brings up kind of a secondary one of what was your first drink? Like the first one you remember.
So not you're a kid and here, have this beer.
I have a very interesting story about that because I used to go. So I live in a dirt road, or I used to live on a dirt road at my parents' place, and I would go along and pick up trash right next to my house down the road. I'd pick up trash and I'd recycle and stuff just because I don't know, I was a kid and I wanted to go exploring.
Trash and cutting down trees.
I mean, always cutting down trees, definitely. That's what little
I'm
kids
picturing
do.
something bad, and I'm hoping it's not leading this direction.
No, but I had stumbled upon what must have fallen out of somebody's pickup truck was a half broken open crate of, I think, Budweiser.
Okay, crate.
It
I was
was like
imagining
the case.
an open can that you found.
No,
That's what I was
no.
thinking.
But
I've
there were-
seen one of those.
Out of all of those, there was like 3 cans. Like every single one had been busted open, but there was like 3 cans in the dead center that had not broken open, and I was just like, oh. I knew immediately what it was. I was like, oh, this is like adult drink stuff. And I think I was like 13 when I found it. So I was like, oh, this is adult drink stuff. So I bundled them all together and I ran back to the house and I was like, fuck, where am I going to put these? What if my parents find out? Oh my God. You know, little tiny child brain working at 1,000 miles an hour. So I dug a hole in the backyard and I buried the 3 beer cans in the hole.
You're gonna make a beer tree.
Yeah, well, there was 5 acres of woods, so like I lived in a fairly densely wooded area right around the house too. Like it was butted up almost to the house.
There wasn't a bush you could put it in.
But there was. I went out like 2 or 3 acres in the middle of the woods, and I dug a hole and I buried the beer in it. And then weeks later, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go drink a beer like an adult. I don't know, child brain things.
Yeah.
As I walked out there, cracked it open, I'm just like, oh, it's like Mountain Dew. And I took a sip. And I was immediately like, like, what the heck is this stuff? Like child brain imagining of what alcohol tasted like was like, why do adults drink this garbage?
So your thought
And now
wasn't.
here I am today.
Well, you don't drink it for flavor. You drink it to escape reality.
So your thought
Right.
wasn't, oh, this has been sitting out in the sun and under a bunch of dirt for a couple weeks. It must have gone bad. It was, oh, apparently this is just bad.
No, yeah, like in my brain, it was beer is forever. It doesn't matter the refrigeration.
I had a
Beer is
friend
forever.
that had a can of beer that he would keep on the side. It was unopened, and it was from like 1960s, and you could hear that it was probably less than half full.
Yeah.
Unopened, and at some point he's like, "I'm gonna open this some point." I'm like, he's like, "I'm not gonna drink it. I just want to smell it."
No.
God, it would just
be awful.
It was
yeah,
I think,
that would be awful.
I think it was
awful.
Pabst.
Yeah. Ribbon.
Like the old
The
cans.
old ribbon.
It was really cool looking, very very old. But
I think I did end up finding, like, I dug up an old Budweiser can from like the 1940s or 50s. My parent, I showed it to my dad. I was like, how old is this? Because I was old enough at that point to, I think I was like 15 or 16, just hanging out in the backwoods, just doing bullshit. But I showed it to my dad. I was like, he's like, oh, that's pretty old. I think my mom probably looked it up, but it was a really, really old can, which is kind of fun.
First drink I ever had was in a bar when I was 20.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I'm calling the cops.
Pretty clandestine.
No, I wasn't
What?
supposed to be in there.
Your
Well, yeah.
grandmother was plying you with alcohol when you were 6, and your first drink was when you were 20?
No, my grandmother, she was a drinker, but the first time I drank, a friend from college wanted to go get a drink, and he was of age and I wasn't. And I told him as much. He's like, it's fine. Just don't say nothing. You'll get a drink. And went to the bar. He went up to the bartender, got a drink for both of us, and we drank. Pretty mundane story, but
Yeah. Like mine was, I was at that age where you didn't really think about good drinks. There was liquor and that was it. You didn't mix it with anything. It was liquor. You took shots. That was all it was.
Yep.
And so I think I remember the first night that we really drank, it was a mixture of Jägermeister and SoCo.
Oh God, no.
Because that's all we had and we're young and we didn't know any better.
yeah.
And so, yeah, I can't, to this day, Jaeger, I can still maybe kind of do, but there's better things out there anyway. But SoCo, like even just the smell of it, because that was one of the things we always got because that's what we knew was what we got. Oh, I do not like SoCo. I don't even know what kind of liquor is SoCo. All I know is SoCo.
It's
bad.
It's something
Whiskey.
that teenagers drink because they don't know what to drink.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
all that I know. really.
Mountain Dew and 99 bananas. That was another mix. My friend liked that. I don't know. No, I don't know why. But
Why
yeah,
was
Cherry
James.
cherry vodka is one of those ones where I drank in college, like when I was 20, where I can't do it.
I
I
remember.
can't smell it
No.
or I gag.
Bartles and James are other just wine coolers. That I remember, and that I still like.
yeah, but we never did. We were trying to be all like the hair on your chest men. So we would go and like, I drank Coronas. I hated it, but I just kept drinking it because like that was trying to be the different drink from people. And yeah, now looking back, it was just, if you haven't had higher up the ladder, you would just assume that that's the way it is.
Yep.
Now, because I don't remember like specific examples of like, oh, here's my first ever taste of alcohol, but all of the like parties where I was drinking underage were co-ed parties. So you had the girly drinks there because there were girls there. And I found, yeah, those taste good.
Because they're full of sugar.
Yeah, this cheap beer tastes bad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to have the good tasting drinks.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, that's totally fair too. Like if you're going up to like tons of frat places, they buy Coors because it's like
Yeah. Now,
36 cents a
Light-
can.
Natty Ice and
Natty
Busch
Lights
Light.
and Busch Lights. Basically water. You couldn't get drunk if you tried, but
Well, that's
And
why
then,
you can plow
and then
it.
the
Yeah.
failed Jello shots that never quite solidify because there's too much alcohol.
Mhm.
So you just have to
Yeah.
kind of slurp it with
you
a
just take your
toothpick.
thumb and you shake it and then you drink it.
Tastes good
Yeah.
enough.
I remember drinking a lot of Jaeger bombs when I was young, like a
Mm.
lot. That's what it was my go-to drink,
Mm.
just Jägermeister and Red Bull.
Yeah, but
Jaeger bombs, I remember that being
Yeah.
pretty mainstay.
we just take shots of it because we just didn't. We were stupid.
Now we would fill a whole glass.
Well, no, like I would drink like 15.
Like a mixed drink, you mean?
Yeah.
I would have like 15 shots in a night, like just like straight shots of stuff because we just didn't. We were stupid and young, and I would wake up blacked out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Anyways, drinking stories. We'll continue.
That's a whole nother
Yeah.
topic that everybody has. Yeah.
So we'll continue from there. But Michael, what was your question?
All right. Well, here's the question I came up with. Took me a while to figure out. A little controversial, but I'm gonna ask it anyways.
Oh, God,
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Not hamsters.
No. Gargamel from the Smurfs. I think he saved their entire race. The question being, do you think he saved their entire race?
Okay.
How?
Michael,
Yeah.
you are old personing very hard
No,
right
there was
now.
a movie
If-
recently about the Smurfs.
No
There
one
was
watched it.
I
There
have
was a
no
movie and
idea.
a sequel, and neither of them came out within the last 10 years.
Okay,
All right.
Michael. To preface
All right.
the question you're about to ask,
Yeah.
have you seen anything about the Smurfs?
I don't even know what Gargamel is.
Do you know anything about the Smurfs?
I know they came from Belgium, and that Gargamel is the weird wizard who either wants to eat them or kill them because they're on his property. And
Or
he has a
turn them to
cat.
gold.
I also knew that. I knew that Gargamel was the evil guy.
Yeah.
But
Well,
Michael, you're talking to a bunch of people who aren't as old.
well,
as
let
you.
me help you in the stream then.
We should get closer to our time frame by doing Gilligan's Island or something.
let me help you out.
Smurfette
Oh,
was
God.
created by
So-
Gargamel.
See,
because-
So we're gonna.
That's the key point. Smurfette was created by Gargamel, and she was the only female Smurf for the longest time.
That you
in
know
all
of.
of Smurfville, like their species was doomed without Gargamel.
I don't think
It is
they're-
Valentine's Day.
Huh? Yeah,
Hmm?
this is a Valentine's Day question.
I like that he asked a question that none of us got context for,
Like
and
remotely.
No,
to validate his opinion, he gives us the facts.
Answer this question.
I think if
Holy
there's
John.
an entire civilization with no females and they live in mushrooms, they're probably funguses themselves. This is getting back to the toads.
It's a mushroom
Okay, so
kingdom.
you
This
think-
is the toad. This is the toad's
Smurfs?
I
conundrum.
mean,
Smurfs are early mushroom kingdom. Tell us.
Yeah.
I mean that this is the discussion I want to have though. How did these Smurf like? Did Gargamel or did he not save their race?
Can I
No.
can I just go off of it?
Yeah.
I'm going to let you know right now. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. All I know about the Smurfs is they're blue. That is
Yeah, they are
literally.
That's about what I.
That's
got
all
to,
I
yeah.
know.
There
So
are no blue animals.
I would say.
They're just blue Smurfs.
So I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
And my reasoning is because it's not what you think.
Yes.
Well,
I-
Smurf you
I
and Smurf you too.
I'm sorry. I know it's
I-
Valentine's Day, but no.
I say no because they reproduce asexually,
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're like bacteria. They just
like
split.
amoebas.
Yeah.
So that's just like mitosis. Or,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
They clone the same way Weird Al does. They
Well,
just
Mm-hmm.
I, for one, will always view Gargamel as the hero of the Smurf story. So
Now the real question is, if he can create Smurfs, like he created Smurfette, why doesn't he just create Smurfs if he wants Smurfs?
because it's like really hard and he has to get up before 7.
He's never succeeded the other way. He has a proven method.
Yeah, but it's like again, like it must be harder somewhere. Like he has to go
I
to
think
the
he's just
store
dumb.
on a Sunday.
I think he is a villain in an 80s cartoon show, so he's just dumb.
well, I
It's
will.
possible.
So I will say that none of us know, but apparently, so Nolan's actually listening. He does say he's heard. He loves the Smurfs. Smurf you guys.
yeah, Smurf you guys.
So you have at least one
Smurf
person
us,
here.
everyone.
Smurfed a lot of you, except chat. You guys are a bunch of Smurfs.
It's just
Wait! You just called us Smurfs and then said they're a bunch of
Yeah,
Smurfs.
Smurf is a very versatile word.
It's like
it's an adjective, a noun, and a pronoun.
it's like it's like fuck.
It's like Squanch.
It's like squanch, yes. Squanchy, squancho, squanchy.
Oh,
Oh God, Michael.
no, I had a great question.
That was definitely a question you thought up like right now. You did not have any
No,
thought
I
on
had
that.
like 2 other questions I threw out to ask that.
That was the best question.
That was the best of the 3.
You need to spend more time on these questions.
I spent all day on these questions.
He had a question about the Berenstein Bears. He had one about Heidi.
Yeah.
The Berenstein Bears are at least something that I know
Well,
of.
at least I didn't ask my question of what Disney film created all the furries.
Yeah, but that one actually we would have
That would make
context.
that makes a lot of sense though, because I can tell you exactly which one
It's
made
Robin
them
Hood.
furries.
Yeah,
Yes, it was Robin Hood.
it was definitely Robin Hood, but it was that chicken.
What?
It was
the
a
chick-
what?
It was the chicken with the gigantic bazongas that when
Not-
she ran, just flopped all over the place.
It was the foxes because there were
You
two of
do
them.
realize that feathers are not fur.
It's all the same to furries.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
If I had to say, if there was a single word that would encompass all the different like groups,
Degenerates.
for
Scaly.
Rude.
Yeah. There's other subgroups, but if you had to pick a single
Bronies.
word,
Oh,
We're
that's
not furries.
that one is really
That's
hard.
That's a fine
that's a line.
That one's up on the edge of the glass, like kind of going back and forth. But
Yep.
yeah, okay. Well, let's move on from that.
See, that's why I didn't ask that one.
That was a great
I am
question.
imagining
And
that
then you
chicken,
did.
though.
I just love when you're like
All right.
your question immediately is followed up by chicken bazongas.
that was a well-endowed chicken in that movie. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, nowadays in Hormel's industry, chicken breasts are quite large. So
yeah, she would have fed a nation.
Yeah, she was.
yes.
Yeah.
She was. I'm just thinking of like with how genetically altered like all our food is nowadays.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, if they were to do the same thing, she would just be
All natural.
She'd be walking breasts with no feathers shoved in a warehouse.
Oh no.
What are the questions that you have for us? Some other stuff.
How many of them are bazongas?
All right. So for the next part here, so we have improv trivia. Normally I do 2 sections, but I'm actually probably doing 3 this time. And so these are questions that have no real answer. So they're made up questions, and the answer that they provide is whatever they want it to be. And that answer is the correct answer. We have to go off of that, and they have to provide some context on it. However much we wanted to go on that. And we have had, I love these ones. Like they're so fun. Kyle has had me die a few times on his. So John, I have your first question here.
All right.
So what was the fate of the last known dodo bird?
Sandwich.
Well, did he eat a sandwich?
Clarify, John.
Well, it wasn't eaten on site, but they found out that, oh, this is such a delicious bird. We've really got to savor it because apparently it's dying out. There doesn't seem to be any left. So they transported it back to France to King Louis number something.
This is a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Louis the something.
Yeah, Louis the something.
ran out
And
of
they
numbers.
presented it to him, and just, this is, we think, the last of the species. What would you like done with it? And he said, well, I've heard there's this new invention out of England called the sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be a good thing to try with this last of the species.
Of course, the French would take English culinary expertise at the last of a species.
It's about Britain's only big contribution culinarily.
To France. What was the dodo bird sandwich? what was on the sandwich though? It was a dodo bird breast, of course.
Yes, Dijon mustard.
French mustard, of
Yes.
course, yes.
Right. Yes, large grain mustard.
Large grain mustard.
Yes, you need that large grain, and then
Brown
some.
mustard.
Don't interrupt my story. This is my sandwich. Who do you think you are? The Pope?
Sorry, sir.
Who do you think you are? The Pope? Don't be taking my
It's like
sandwich.
brown mustard. I'm sorry.
He's describing the sandwich. He looks over at Michael. He's like, "You stupid bitch! You interrupted my sandwich."
My sandwich.
He eats your sandwich. You're like, I can't have another of those. It was the last.
You put brown mustard on it. It's ruined. Throws it in the trash.
Then he looks at the chef. You did this. This is the last of the species, and it was delicious. This is what you did.
And it had such big bazongas.
It's big dodo bazongas.
Now give me the leg meat with some pastrami.
Yeah.
We can thank Mr. Disney for the giant bazongas.
I love the phrase though, the invention of the sandwich.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably what it is, but that's like, it just doesn't seem like the right word for it. Invention of the sandwich. Do you invent pizza? Do you invent
Yeah.
fettuccine?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You
that
invent
just,
anything.
I know that it sounds like a scientist in a
Michael invents
lab.
things all the time.
Yeah, sure.
Like, if you showed fettuccine to a caveman, they would ask you, what is this?
Well, no, they would probably be like, me hungry.
Culinary magic.
I do kind of feel like the sandwich, though, is something that happened way before anybody said it happened, because putting anything between two slices of bread just kind of seems,
Well, you have to invent sliced bread first.
yes. But I would think the sandwich would be invented like by the next day.
Wait,
Yes.
I like inventing sliced bread. It's just somebody has a bread loaf and they're like,
Well, I mean,
and
that's
like slice it in half and like, Eureka!
That's not necessarily true because a sandwich is a very bourgeois sort of food because you're applying multiple ingredients together. So, like the only thing I can think of is like old Victorian fingerling sandwiches where they would have
Cucumber sandwiches.
yes, where they would have the top and bottom layer. But otherwise, if you were the poor, you would just have ripped bread, or you would have the bread with a topping, be it butter or cheese or a soft spreadable cheese.
Like if you have a flatbread like naan, you're not saying, "Oh, I'm eating a curry sandwich." It's I'm eating curry with bread.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, and I'm thinking all the sandwich probably was that somebody was having a salad and then decided that it was too hard to use a fork, and they're like, "How can I put this in my hand?"
Well, I think the first
A lettuce sandwich.
Well, because they probably started with lettuce and then they just kept adding more and more meat because America.
I think the first sandwiches were. I'm gonna pull this out of my butt right now because I don't actually know. I don't have to Google, but I was gonna say it was a watercrescent sandwich because it's watercressants you really can't eat without a sort of medium to have. And I know that the old hors d'oeuvres for watercressants were just on top of a slice of bread, but having two layers of bread makes it a watercressant sandwich. More fancy.
I don't know. That doesn't sound that tasty.
Double bread. It's not.
Really, that just sounds like, I don't know. That doesn't even sound like a sandwich using watercressnuts.
Well, I mean,
watercress.
watercress, yeah.
Chestnuts.
I still
I
like,
like I've just got my mind on bazongas, I guess.
I still like the idea though of like somebody making this dodo bird sandwich and putting the wrong mustard on it and be like throwing out and be like, give me another one. And this is like, there are no more, sir.
I'm the king and I demand another dodo bird.
Well,
That's when they just get a turkey.
Yeah, you
They're
just-
like, oh, this is the dodo bird.
you just give him chicken, and he's just like, oh, that was the best I've ever had, and like, yep,
You're nothing to compare it to.
That's why a $150 whiskey is the exact same as a $35 whiskey.
Actually, there was a guy we watched that he went through like a bunch of different whiskeys from like the cheapest to like something that was like a $3,000 bottle, and when he got to the $3,000 bottle, he definitely was like, oh, like there was something special about that. But he's like, was it good? Yeah. Was it $3,000 good? No. It's like, no, all the ones here were good. There's a couple that weren't, but he was just like, it was good, but not $3,000 good. But
Yeah.
It's like the difference between a $20 glass of beer and a $12 glass of beer is a lot less than the difference between a $3 glass of beer and a $6 glass of beer.
Yes.
yeah. So Kyle, I have your question.
Okay.
So in 1997, a nuclear reactor in Ukraine nearly had a meltdown incident due to what?
Well, so there's a lot of background to this one, to be honest. So with the Chernobyl incident, which happened before 1997.
Yeah, it was in the 80s, I think.
Okay, good. I was
35
going to say it was happening before that time anyway, so it doesn't matter. But the Chernobyl incident told them that sticking their hand inside the reactor when it's running was a bad idea.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
now,
good.
in this new reactor, they thought it was a great idea to instead use a glove while sticking their hand in the reactor.
Is it still a hand?
Well, yes, but it's gloved.
How thick is this glove?
No, that's not the point.
Latex is radiation proof.
Exactly. It was the forefront of science at the time in the Russian Empire.
Russian?
The Russian Empire.
The Ruskies.
The Ruskian Empire. So they had figured out that it wasn't great originally, so they had to come up with a different method. So instead of using just your hands, you had to use the hand with a glove. So that was their big like harumph and hurrah. And the people who went into the reactor to go remove the rods were still dying at an unholy rate. But it's Russia, so
Unholy rate. I like that. So what testing did they do to figure out that a glove was better?
well, they first tried a block of lead. And that worked really well, but it was really heavy. So the person just fell right into the rod holding that. So they scrapped that one pretty quickly. And after that, they just tried rubber.
That's what they all say.
It is Valentine's Day after
Try
all.
a rubber. It's safer.
Yes. Wow, there's a lot of people dying in this. How can we, what kind of protection can we use? And they just like, Trojan?
Yes. It was
Just
1997.
like an entire like head to foot. So, like, okay.
He's in a suit.
We can go. Well, we're going to stop that before that goes potentially too far. So,
Yes.
Michael,
Yeah.
I have your question. You ready?
No. Let's start.
Okay. So, Michael, Neil Armstrong is known for his famous one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. But few remember his next words. What were they?
Oh, shit.
Did he trip?
He
What
tripped.
happened?
He tripped on the moon, fell on his face, crushed the only space alien that we've ever found to date who was there to greet him. They do not talk about it in the history books because it was so embarrassing. It was man's first contact with another alien species on the moon. We killed their ambassador. We've been in a war ever since.
Oh, we're in a war with them?
We are, but it's super hush hush. It takes place only on the moon. And as far as they're concerned, they won. And that's why we haven't been back yet, because we need them to think that long enough until they just kind of move along.
Until we nuke the moon. Oh, yeah.
No.
So his
Like
giant
the moon.
his giant leap was murder.
He
It was for mankind, Argo, not alien kind.
Well-
it was just the alien was small and fragile and smushed.
It had to be
easily.
really fragile.
Was
There's more-
one small step then a threat? Yeah, this is one small step.
One small step for man. One giant foot up your ass.
Now that's America that I want to belong to. That's hilarious. I can't imagine we sent a delegation to the moon to rendezvous with the aliens, and then
Yeah.
Mr. Armstrong, all high and mighty off of just almost not dying from the landing craft, is just like one small step for man, and they're just like, what the hell is this guy?
The thing you need to understand about the moon landing is nobody thought it was going to work. They thought they were dead for sure. So Neil Armstrong, downed a half bottle of vodka.
he was drunk when he got out.
He was drunk as hell.
Wait, why did he bring vodka, not an American alcohol?
But look, he probably was available.
He stole it from the Sputnik probe.
He did a drive-by.
Yes, drive-by of Sputnik.
They gave that dog a lot of booze.
It was made from space potatoes. It was fine.
Okay.
But yeah, it was he was not well. That's why he was bouncing around so much. Fact. Gravity's the exact same on the moon as it is on Earth, and all that weird walking he was doing, it's because he was off his ass.
And then he played golf.
Yeah. Who does that on the moon?
What the fuck are you doing?
Hammered.
He played golf on a foreign nation like an asshole.
After having just killed a guy. He was on the binger of a lifetime.
It's like George W. Bush killing a foreign national and playing golf on their land. Oh,
My
shit.
goodness.
That is hilarious.
Can't wait till we go back.
Wait, no.
Poor
When was
Neil.
the moon landing in the 60s?
69.
69? So that wasn't George Bush. That was
Nixon.
Nixon.
That was well before Bush.
Yes, well, you
I
were.
was in my laughy streak. I didn't.
Bush was like 84? Was Bush 84?
Yeah, he was 84.
No, not 84. 94.
94. Okay.
No,
Wait.
88 to 92.
92.
You
okay,
would,
so
you would
yeah,
know. I believe him. I
Yeah,
believe him.
92 because I know Clinton would have been 8 years, which would have been 92 to
Yep.
2000. So,
Yep.
okay. Yeah. Okay. What the fuck, Michael?
It was a good.
That was
Yes.
great.
I don't write history. I just retell it.
He has some deep-seated issues. He just
The
hasn't talked to
cave,
us
the
about.
cave scrawlings with the hamsters will definitely tell that.
Yes.
Because you were the one that made them.
All right. So, John, I have your next question. In New Guinea, what topping is famously popular on pizza?
Papaya.
Papaya.
Yeah, it's like pineapple, so the rest of the world is just shunning them, except for some weird people who, well, they like pineapple,
Yeah.
and so we shun them too.
Well, we shun them. Yes.
But
I like pineapple.
We'll shun.
Yeah, but papaya, that's just one step below.
It's going lower than
Yeah,
banana.
it is.
Yeah.
There's no texture to papaya. It's just kind of mealy
just
and giving.
Sugary mush.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Baked fruit.
Yeah, the only step lower is putting banana peels on pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else here like eats the peels of fruit.
No.
No.
Well,
it's
I
good.
eat
Well,
apples.
okay, apple peels, but
What?
do you said you eat orange
What
peels?
do you eat?
Yeah, I do sometimes
willingly?
eat
You
orange
eating the
peels.
orange peel? Are you well?
They're bitter, and sometimes I want something bitter.
You've got a lemon peel right there. Why aren't
Are
you eating
you
it?
well?
I'll eat it.
Don't do it.
No. Why did you do this? He's like he's 90 on the outside and 12 on the inside.
Sour.
Where's mine? Where's my lemon peel?
Oh no! Oh my god,
I've-
children.
I've started a trend that I wish I could
Well,
take
I'm
back.
not doing it. I'm not.
No, that was awful.
He's dedicated to the cause, but also he doesn't have taste buds.
No, I ruined those years ago.
Yeah, he's from like Kentucky,
I'm
Cincinnati.
not
they
smoking,
don't have
apparently.
they don't have flavor over there.
Oh, that's true. They do eat skyline chili.
Yeah, when they
We
say
did-
flavor country, they don't mean where he's from.
No,
Yeah.
I
God,
did
no.
get excited when we found spaghetti under a chili, and we've done it ever since.
Wait, did you make a food and then realize that? Oh wow, who put spaghetti in this?
Yes, and then we just kept doing it. It was great.
The great giver from the
Yeah.
hamster.
So
era.
in Kentucky, you literally discovered spaghetti like you were inventing a new meal?
We did invent a new meal, and it was delicious.
It was called spaghetti.
It was called Three Ways.
No,
We
not
had-
no,
we had
you
3 ways.
specifically.
Me specifically.
Yes.
Yeah, you peeled the spaghetti off the wall and then you put it on a plate
Yeah.
and pour chili on it.
Exactly.
The difference between 3 ways and spaghetti is a couple spices.
It's more than just that. It's chili.
Yeah, what is the difference between chili and spaghetti?
Really awful chili.
Beans.
Chili.
It's a
and-
couple spices, right?
No.
Well, okay. What is the main base of chili and spaghetti?
Tomato.
Okay, yeah. So that's your base, and then after that, it comes down
If
to.
you want to eat a bowl of spaghetti sauce, be my guest. But they are quite different.
I don't. Yeah, but we tried to eat a bowl of Skyline chili, and how did that go, Kyle?
It looked like diarrhea.
It was
And I-
diarrhea,
and I did not eat it.
but it was out of the
Wow.
can, and it was sawdust.
We just
so-
lost all of our
I-
Cincinnati.
I literally
then you can
one of
leave.
them that you can leave.
So probably I'm the only one.
Yeah, like I started to cook it and I was so appalled that I made a video on my phone to send to you
Mhm.
asking what the hell.
But it was fully canned, so I can.
it was
understand
also
it's a little
canned. Yes,
different,
it was
Um,
canned.
Canned stuff is fine.
Anyways,
It's not.
just so we don't get too far from it, John, papaya. Is there anything more?
I'm sorry.
We're sorry,
Well,
John.
Yeah, the only step below that is pouring Skyline chili on a pizza.
Oh, actually,
that
no.
would be pretty good.
No,
Hey,
that'd be awful.
No,
No.
compared
No.
to pineapple, I probably would prefer to have Skyline chili on a pizza compared to pineapple.
Using Skyline chili as a pizza sauce would actually be pretty good. I might do that.
And I'm against.
No,
and
no,
it's-
we're not doing
yes.
that.
And it's not
Not
that-
where I'm here.
No, that'll be the
Um,
next podcast meal.
No, I'm doing chili.
Yeah, he's doing chili, good chili, real chili.
Actual
So-
chili.
Wow.
No, to
Texas
me,
chili.
the pineapple on the pizza is a step further. It's not that I don't like pineapple on pizza. I just don't like cooked pineapple.
Yeah.
And
That's
and
fair.
and so
I guess.
having that, so it's like saying like you don't like one thing, but then if you put that bad thing on something else, then that would, why don't you like that too? Well, no, I don't like cucumber. It doesn't mean that if you put cucumbers in salad, I'm suddenly going to like them. No. So
Put ranch on them though.
no, it's still, you basically just
Yeah.
said exactly what I said.
They're really good though with ranch.
Cucumbers?
I can understand why people
Or
would
pineapple.
not like
No,
cucumbers.
not pineapple so much.
Pineapple and ranch.
Pineapple on ranch does not sound
Cucumbers on
good.
pizza?
Oh.
No.
Cucumbers on pizza, I would eat it.
You would eat a lot of
What?
things.
No. Why?
No, cucumbers on pizza depends on how you make it, but I hate cucumbers, but
No, they're tasteless. They're just water. Cellulose.
It'd be a garbage.
you ever
it
ate-
wouldn't keep me from
have you ever ate at Pizza Hut?
No.
That's most of their ingredients.
Oh, is water cellulose?
It's just it's tasteless.
Oh, yeah, it's salt.
Salt does help everything.
Yes, yes.
All right, Kyle, I got your question.
Well, already then.
All right, so your question. Google is expanding its portfolio with the acquisition of what company?
Ooh, Yahoo.
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 So they're expanding their portfolio.
So they needed
They're
more
buying
O's.
it again?
No, they're needing more O's. Yahoo has a lot more O's than Google, so they felt very emasculated by it.
No, it is the same amount of O's.
Yeah.
No.
In this version of the story.
No. Yahoo has one more O than Google. Argo.
And he's telling the version of his history.
I know you're
Wait,
telling
is
your
it
version,
Yahoo or Yahoo?
but I don't.
So it's like,
I don't
no.
go to Goggle.
I remember the commercial of Barbra Streisand, and she said Yahoo with definitely 4 O's. So it's 4 O's, but that's getting me off track anyways.
Yeah, Yahoo.com has 3
Because
O's.
Yahoo News,
Oh,
not only does it have 1 O over Google, but it also has more letters of the alphabet than Google does.
There's a Y.
Yahoo News has
Yes.
more than Google? Okay, it's
Yes.
one thing if you're making up history, but now you're trying to like say that 6
4
is 4.
He's trying to rewrite math.
And he's looking at me like, what the fuck you gonna do?
I feel like I'm the only person at this table who still uses Yahoo pretty regularly.
I do not.
Why?
It's really good.
Well,
for
Yahoo's
stock
for
stuff.
socks. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see stock.
Oh.
They have a really good stock.
It's all they're good for
Generator,
anymore, but
yeah.
they're the best for it. So
Well,
Yeah, well, they have something, and I can understand that they probably invested more in that.
Well,
So
yeah.
I would say maybe that's why they bought them, but you already gave your reason, and apparently it's just because of masculinity.
yeah. Oh, masculinity. Yeah.
O'Reilly.
That is that even,
Google's put those people on the ground.
is O'Reilly
Concrete
just
shoes.
like Northwest? Because like, is nobody gonna get that
no,
reference?
like that they totally have them back in
It's
Kentucky.
Oh, really?
it's definitely
So,
All right.
countrywide.
Well, I'm hoping that everybody that's out in Switzerland or something has no idea what we're talking about. Commercials. So, all right. Well, so O's. I was thinking you were gonna go like to some weird company, but no, you're like, what is another search engine?
Chris.
Mostly dead.
They bought Bing.
Well, they were using the
They
same
bought
search
Microsoft.
technology anyway.
All right. So, Michael.
Yeah.
I have your next one.
Okay.
What is the favorite food of Queen Elizabeth?
She likes chili dogs.
Chili dog.
Oh, you know what? I
Wait,
could actually see
I
that
could
being
see it.
real.
Does she
really
have a
good.
cameo in the Sonic movie?
Oh my God.
The truth is, like, she's the arch nemesis of Sonic the Hedgehog.
she's
Like
the original
in
Eggman.
the new movie,
Yep.
she's like setting the British forces out to fight him. Like this is the new
In America?
and she calls
like she invades America to get this hedgehog because he has the best chili dogs, and she sends the.
Oh, he eats the best chili
Wait, he
dogs.
eats them because he has them. You have to have a chili dog to eat it.
Does he
Kyle.
make them?
Yes.
I thought he always stole them.
Is she
No.
putting the corgis in mechs, and then when he breaks the robots, the corgis just run out?
Yes, that's what it is. You're exactly right, John. See, John's a historian. So she puts her corgis in these robots, and they go to attack Sonic because he makes the best chili dogs, and she loves chili dogs. So, like, that is the entire premise of the new Sonic movie and history as we know it. Like, the Sonic movie is a documentary about our current existence.
Does she? Does
yeah.
Queen Elizabeth have a mustache?
She does, but she hides it beneath a bald mustache cap. Like, it's just her face.
What?
She can't let people know she has an evil mustache. Because if people found out, they would be onto her plot to destroy Sonic. And the people love Sonic. And his chili dog obsession, which she also shares.
I want the bald mushroom.
As a man with a mustache,
Yeah.
how does a mustache bald cap work?
It's you put it over your mustache and it presses it to your face.
Well, have you seen swimming?
So-
Sit on.
You've seen
Yeah.
swimming caps. They work.
Yeah.
It's like that.
But
So
there's
it's over your
There's a
face.
hole.
You're like
to the mouth.
strap
No,
around
it
the back
go-
of
it
the
goes
neck.
like
It's
this.
fine.
So they cover your whole mouth,
Around
and
the
then
back of the head.
they cover your whole mouth, and then they draw a picture of a mouth.
Yeah, it's exactly that. And so her ultimate goal is to imprison Sonic the Hedgehog and force him to make chili dogs for her until her dying day, which probably isn't far off. So it'll be a short sabbatical for him. So
Have any of you seen the new trailer they just put out?
I
Yes.
have not.
It looks really good. Like that is probably the most accurate video game movie I've seen.
Anything is better than the original trailer they had for the first movies.
Well, yeah, but
They
then
fixed it.
but they went the other direction and now made it look
Yep.
It looks really good.
There was a corporate overlord that got overthrown by the internet that day.
Yep, and you know what? I'm okay with it because
We got a good movie out of it.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. So
I'm excited for this. I'm legitimately excited for this next movie.
when we watched the first movie of that, we were at my house and when Tails popped up at the end, Kyle screamed so loud, and that was not long after I had like issues with my neighbor complaining of noise, which I'm surprised we don't have now.
I was also drunk, by the way.
But yeah, and you just started screaming, and I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna hear about this.
Well, I went, yeah.
Oh my god, it was you.
Well, it's because he is adorable.
And there needs to be more biplanes in
And there needs to be more like machinery.
They kept it a biplane. I'm happy about it. Anyway, that's all topic. Anyways, so John, I have one more question for you.
Okay.
An upcoming fashion trend involves teenagers wearing what item as a necklace?
A ferret.
A ferret.
Oh, yes.
They're specially trained, and then they just bite their tail and just do that thing where the ferret just goes limp.
It's like the
Ouroboros. It's like Cruella de Vil, but alive.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a new trend.
101 Dalmatians, except 101 ferrets.
Yeah, and then if you give it a treat, it just does a loop.
Ooh, that's cool.
That's neat.
Yeah.
They do tricks.
Yeah.
It's a boa ferret.
But then they have extra large versions where you have 2 ferrets.
Yeah.
Yes. For those women who have
Bazongas.
Big bazongas. Big chicken bazongas.
That's why we're here on Valentine's.
That's all we're all furries now.
Wait, what?
The chicken bazongas.
No. Okay. Back to John.
No.
They do the loops.
The loops.
And they need the loops.
And if they have to tighten it too much though, they could not stop, and then they'll just start choking.
Oh no.
So
what I've seen
death by ferret.
I've seen ferrets in those little tunnel things, and they're adorable.
Yeah.
So
You cinch the ferret to get it to the right tightness.
Do you have like pegs, or do you have like a little crank wheel?
Yes. You need a ferret winch.
A ferret winch.
Gotta crank your ferret.
Yeah.
Poor ferret. You grab his little leggy, and then you go.
He gets treats.
It is unfortunate that ferrets have scent glands on them, because otherwise they would be the most adorable creature in the world.
It'd probably be a more popular pet if they didn't breed to high heaven. You know?
I want to see it though, like if suddenly like some teenagers getting like held up at gunpoint, and then they're just like ferret attack, and they just throw their ferret. It's like mauls the guy.
Yes, exactly.
That'd be great. It has lots of purposes. I can see the need on it. I mean, it'd probably just be for TikTok purposes, but
Utility ferret.
utility ferret. Like you have a belt full of ferrets?
Yes.
No. You're out in the wilderness. You're starving to death. You take the ferret around your neck and you crack open the can with the ferret.
I'm just imagining like Indiana Jones, but instead of a whip, he just has like a chain of ferrets. He's like fighting back
I thought
enemies with.
I thought you were talking about like a can that had a ferret in it.
No,
Like
I'm cracking a carrot. I'm cracking a can of carrots with a ferret.
And so I thought you'd like crack a can, the ferret comes out, and it's like ready,
Ready to be eaten?
Well, no, they all have a purpose. Like,
purpose-built ferrets.
This is
in a can.
It's like the meeseeks.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like I need to start a fire, and you get like the fire ferret. It's like and it makes a fire, and then woof.
Except in reality, it would just die.
Just eat it. Imagining Batman, but on his utility belt is just different ferrets who have different.
Instead of shark
man.
spray, it was ferret shark spray, and he just goes ha-cha! It's a shark. It's a
Shark ferret.
Well, like it's Batman, but Ferret Man, and like his one weakness is
Ferret
tubes.
man.
And like the villain just puts a tube down. He's like, oh,
The tubes.
Gotta go into the tube.
gotta go to the tube. All right. So Kyle, I have your next question.
Okay.
Monster Energy Drinks has a new flavor on the horizon. What is it?
It's Baja Blast.
Baja Blast Monster.
I need to go to Taco Bell, and instead of getting Baja Blast Mountain Dew, I need to have my drywall, where I take a chunk of the drywall and bite it.
Wait,
and then I punch the drywall.
Is this
And
like
then I go to my Baja Blast Mountain Dew.
Is this like when you have a glass of a drink,
Monster.
like a margarita, and you put sugar around the rim, so you have a glass of Monster,
Monster with
sugar
the drywall around the rim. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's for something that's like uptown sort of like drinks though. Like that's a mixed drink. Like we had martinis tonight.
It does taste better than fiberglass.
Yeah, a good solid Monster Energy drink would be one that is rimmed with drywall. Some gypsum, at least gypsum, fine grain.
The problem is, so you're Kyle. So if you were to do that, you would just punch the glass.
Well, if I was a true Kyle, I would have been in the Area 51 attack a couple of years ago.
You would have been taken out in the air.
I would have been knocked down with the rest of them.
That was their one moment to try to take out all Kyles in one foul sweep.
Well, I mean, to be perfectly honest, back in those days, we were like alliancing with the furries. But I mean, like, to be perfectly honest, like they were meant to die first, like all of them. Like we were just gonna hang back and like hang out and drink drinks, and then like watch the furries kind of run the lines. And then when they ran out of ammo, that's when we would come in and because we need to get to the walls, we need to get to the drywall.
You're saying that the problem was there aren't enough furries?
Well, there was plenty of furries who didn't want to show up for the Area 51 attack.
Well, Kyle, I like that this is a super secret military base, and your first thought is, I can get in because they have drywall. I'm pretty sure.
What else are their buildings made out of? It's made out of drywall.
But even here, we have drywall, but on the outside, it's not drywall.
Yeah.
You don't know that.
I'm just imagining when a Kyle throws his fist, he
With
gets
a Kyle.
propelled forward like maximum speed.
Drywall-seeking missile.
He just doesn't stop until his fist finds drywall.
See, now you understand why the plan to assault Area 51 was perfect, except that there were people with machine guns in there, which was why the furries
All
were
you
there.
had to do was Naruto run at that crap, and you would have gotten past.
Well,
it.
the Naruto runners were in a different subsector of the assault.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Another subsector? You know a lot about this attack.
Yeah,
Well, I was part of it, so
Oh, yeah, I guess. Even if you weren't there.
I was a general, unfortunately, on the rear lines, commanding the men.
General Kyle. The problem with
Lead
being a
from
Kyle
behind.
is all Kyles were General Kyle.
Yes,
So nobody knew what was
exactly.
How Kyles are part of a hive mind of Kyles.
There's too much drywall not to be.
Drywall seeking Kyles.
All right, Michael, I have your last question. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. No, this one you're ready for. That's good. So
Yeah.
evidence dating back to the mid 1500s indicate that horses were only the second most popular animal to ride. What was the most popular?
People.
Other people?
Other people. You would be like, come along, sir. And they would jump on their shoulders and they would ride them across the countryside. And they'd be like, haha. And it would be fantastic. And then keep in mind that all these people are hamsters. Because we're bringing this full circle.
I still like the idea though of like another person jumping another person, then away!
And then Filbert.
Please, sir, I have a family. Like, no, get along, doggy.
The one guy, the guy's been stuck in the dungeon forever. He runs like 4 feet and just falls over, and you're like, another.
It's great. You just got to write all those persons.
But sire, all the mounts are dead. You look pretty lively. Get over here.
Oh, brave Sir Robin, bravely run away.
Yes. So yeah, this whole story ended real quick.
Because we're sandbagging it.
Yep.
We're bagging that one up.
Yep.
Yeah. Hello. Let's go back
We are the Barbershop Quartet.
We had a pre-show where we usually recorded like 15 minutes beforehand, and I picked the random place for it to start, but they were doing a barbershop quartet.
If
like
you were
3
on
times.
Patreon?
Yeah, it's any that's a patron or as Twitch Up has access on Discord. So like right now, Nolan is listening on us.
And just as a side note, nothing's more popular than horses because they're awesome.
So for the next part, I did ask for some questions on Discord. I think I put in a chat that I think that nobody really got a notification on, so that was a little weird. But I do have some older questions that I can actually pull from that we never actually got to. So and I was trying to see if I can find those, but I remember one of them that Warhorse actually had asks where it was, is there Do you ever think that there is a place in the universe that has zero light, that is of pure darkness?
If you go far enough out, yes.
I'm under the
don't
belief.
know.
Well, if you go beyond the edge of the universe to where light is
Hard to reach.
yeah, if it's an expanding universe and not an infinite universe, that there is a point that it is the edge, then yes, there would be technically no light because there is no universe.
There's no
But
time.
could you create a box that had no anything light in it? No.
Well, the reverse is if you look at a small enough area, there are
That's
no
not necessarily
photons.
true.
There are no photons in this area. Therefore, there is no light.
But what is light?
It's photons.
It's a wave and a particle.
But
Yeah.
is radio waves light? It's a photon, right?
Yep.
It's just depending on the length of it. So if you go all the way down from top to the bottom of the spectrum, then you have to say that there's a box that none of them all the way across the entire spectrum did not get into.
It's a very small box.
Well, I mean, if we're working off the Big Bang Theory, there is an entire sphere of non-reality outside of reality, which is
That's
zero space.
That's yeah. It depends on whether or not the universe has an edge. Because right now there's no way to prove that.
Well,
We have an observable edge.
Yes, but if you're going off the Big Bang Theory, that would mean that there was a portion of non-reality outside of
It means
photon light reality.
But the fact that you could never get there, does that mean that it even exists? If it's an area that you literally could never
theoretically, yes, it would exist. It's just that you would never be able to observe it.
then it doesn't exist. This is like the if you poop in the forest.
The tree is to fall.
No, mine's right.
Like for standard light, you would have to create a box that absorbs all light on its surface. Because I think there was an experiment once done to kind of like work the minds of some scientists were trying to figure out where somebody created a box that had all reflective surfaces and they closed the box and they said that box has light in it because of course it has to have light in it because I closed it and light was reflecting into the box.
Mm-hmm.
And I closed the box and even though light still isn't shining in the box, even though it's completely dark in there. So I would think you would have to create a surface inside a box that was capable of reflecting absolutely zero light for there not to be light in that box.
I think the most we have in terms of anything to reflect or absorb before getting in there is not 100%.
Yeah. So there would still be light in a box.
Yeah. And I think there is actually if you go way back a couple of years for Snowball Guys, they actually went to a location where they are photographing light. So they shoot a laser pulse into a box and they can actually watch it bounce around within real time of light speed using some really fancy camera setups to get the whole thing. But you can actually watch the light bounce around. So yeah, if you close the box, it would. But anytime something reflects, it loses some kind of energy of some kind. It's not going to reflect forever, at least as far as I would know. So eventually it would lose enough energy to where if you just kept it closed, anything that's in there would eventually kind of dissipate to nothing. Maybe. I mean, I'm not a scientist.
If you go to 100%, nothing is the question.
100% nothing would be hard to prove too.
Yeah.
Well, you need two things. One, you need not frictionless, but like no loss reflection. And two, you need surfaces for the outside that don't allow any waves to pass through.
Yeah, and no waves is hard to prove
So,
because you can have waves that are kilometers or planets long, and then you can have waves that are half of an atom.
Yeah, so perfect insulation combined with perfect reflection. This is a thought experiment because you're never going to actually.
Well, this is like when your teacher says, "Okay,
Right.
pretend that there is no friction."
Yep.
So, so I can understand that. Sometimes you can remove some aspect like that. Anyways, the next question I had here was, so Bus Filming Point had asked, give one reason why people are afraid of spiders.
Too many legs.
Too many legs?
Yeah.
Are the legs the scary part of a spider?
The things that they could do with those legs.
I mean, what if they were sexy legs?
Oh my.
Then it would be a sexy spider and it would be less scary.
Less scary, still be scary.
Would you want to date this spider? It's like it's got a bunch of high heels on each leg.
Yeah, it's got like the stockings and. What if it had socks on every leg?
Whoa. Oh my. Bunch of hooved spiders.
Hooved spiders?
Hooved spiders. I can't think of socks without hooves. But no.
What?
Sorry.
You're wearing them right now.
My brain is cooked. But as far as spiders are actually concerned, I imagine that it just goes back to like some primordial fear because like some spiders are legit dangerous. But we're just afraid of all spiders.
They believe that some fears are genetic. And so that it is, you are predispositioned to be afraid of something because from a an evolutionary standpoint, being afraid of something that has killed people before is a benefit.
Yeah. So you're afraid of spiders because if some spider would bite you, it'll kill you. You're afraid of snakes because if some snake will bite you, it'll kill you.
If it ended up being...
You're afraid of clowns because if some
clown bits you,
you
will die.
Well, the clowns, I think, are different. That is uncanny valley. Yeah. You're scared of them for a different reason. But it's the idea that you may not know why you are afraid of them, but you are because it was a benefit, which does make sense. If I actually had to pick what would... to me, be creepy about spiders. It's not as much the legs.
The pedipalps?
I have no idea what that is. Oh, the little mouthy things? No. Actually, to me, it was always like when you have like 8 eyes. But I think that also could be like there. Oh, I forgot what is it called. There's an I know I don't have it, but it might be similar to. It's a fear of lots of little circles.
Lots of holes or circles?
Well, just like lots of small circles in a small area. Because I know that's one of the things that people have a fear of spiders is it's when you have all those little, I forgot what it's called. And now that's going to bug me.
When I think of lots of little holes, I think of like a really advanced infection too. So, because if it was advanced enough, it would probably
tryptophobia. Is an aversion or repulsion to objects like honeycombs or sponges that have repetitive patterns or clusters of small holes. I know I've heard of that one before, which is so weird, but it might actually be related to spiders and stuff.
Because there are things in those holes.
Yeah, they could.
Actually, maybe.
And again, like I was saying, with a super advanced infection that's breached the skin, it would probably look fairly porous.
Maybe it could be like if you had an outbreak or something. I could see that you would be, staying away from them would be beneficial.
Or if you see half of an anthill, don't put your hand anywhere near there because you're going to lose that hand.
Well, that's a bit extreme.
Depending on the ants.
You're gonna be hand is gonna be very sore depending on
your hand isn't gonna go. This isn't Indiana Jones. Your hand isn't gonna go into the anthill and then disappear
after a little while.
No, keep it in there.
Like I remember watching a story where a man fell on an anthill and he was like paralyzed for some reason, and basically it was a fire ants, and they were essentially just biting the crap out of him. He survived, but it was pretty awful. But
so don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
All right. One other one that I had here. I kind of moved now that I think about it. Oh, there. So it's another one from Bus Filling Point. He had asked, this is back for November. What is your favorite season and why?
Winter.
Really? Winter? Why?
It's cold.
You like the cold?
Like the cold.
Oh, okay.
You can just put more layers on. You don't have to worry about that. It's hard to get. It's hard to collect cold. But you can make heat.
Well, if I had to choose between the extremes, I would prefer cold.
Also, it's pretty.
Oh, yes.
It is pretty, yes. Yeah.
The more dangerous the weather is, the prettier it is.
When you get that one morning where like all the trees before the sun had hit it are like covered in ice crystals and they're just, the sun hits it when it's rising and it glows, and that can be super pretty. Yeah.
And the branches are just falling off the trees.
I like
that. Sounds dangerous, but okay.
Yes, it's an ice storm.
It's
very dangerous. The cars are just skidding all over the place. You see these cool little patterns of tire marks as they go off the road.
Yeah, only the fittest survive in Minnesota.
I definitely like autumn, just because winter hurts and it's trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Why do you like that?
Autumn is when things are dying. Winter is when things are dead.
Yes.
Yeah, but you stand outside and then it's like, if I keep doing this as I am, I will die eventually. And especially around here, I got a bit of frost nip last year.
Frostbite?
Well,
no, there's differences.
I would call it frost nip is what I got. And essentially some of my skin died and it created like a rash.
Like, no, that's frostbite.
Yeah. But it hurt.
Because
that doesn't happen in autumn.
Yeah. You should wear
but more people die of hypothermia in autumn than they do in winter.
Why?
Because they don't think it's cold, and then they get wet, and then they die.
Won't get wet.
Word of the day: chilblains. Chilblains are the sensation of your skin starting to freeze, but it never gets to be frozen like frostbite.
Well, the thing was, I was so numb from the cold because it was like negative. I think the day it happened, I was like negative 20 or something.
Okay, but Michael,
Yeah.
this whole time, like I warned you at the beginning of winters here, like you have to take extra precautions.
Yep.
Your extra precautions were nothing. Like I'm like, you should wear
T-shirt.
gloves. You should do this. You should do that. And the reason you had that, where was it? Did it happen?
It happened in my car.
Yeah, but, no, but where on your body?
On my hands.
Yeah.
Because you weren't wearing.
Sunglasses.
Well, I
That's
told
why-
you to, and you're like, nah, I got.
No,
That's why I'm saying winter is my favorite season. Because if you prepare for it,
Yeah.
you're gonna be fine.
Winter's your favorite
You can-
season because it's the only one that can take out
Yes,
Michael.
you can always be more warm in winter. You can never be more cold in summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, like Michael, the
what
one
I see.
we have a story for him. So, like, oh God, a couple of years ago, he was visiting, and it was December here, and we told him like, it's really cold out here. Just make sure breathe through your nose because you want to make sure the air is warmed up there. Don't breathe through your mouth when you can. And he's like, her, and he just takes a big gulp of air. And it was like super cold outside through his mouth.
Mr. Lung and a half.
So when you
it's fine.
when you get temperatures that get down to the negative like that, you're immediately going to form ice crystals in your lung because it's a nice warm area with the super
The
cold air.
cilia freezes solid.
Yeah, and so he starts coughing, and you ended up getting pneumonia.
Nah, I got pneumonia. Yeah.
And so it comes down to warning Michael usually is about just asking him to test the system.
Yes. Michael, please don't do this. Oh God, no, not again, Michael.
Now, as far as the frostbite was concerned, like it was fine at the time because my hands were so numb I couldn't feel them. So it was painless.
Yeah, that's bad.
Until it warmed up.
that's
That
bad.
was the problem.
Yeah.
When my hands warmed up, that's when I felt
It's when
pain.
your blood literally unfroze in your cells. The mitochondria are like, oh God, what's happened? And then they just started, they just like seppuku.
I've survived it all.
Yeah, so it's
Apparently.
so you hate it because all the precautions were like, hey, do this. You're like, eh.
Skin go burr.
Literally.
Michael
yeah, I
go
guess.
bird.
Michael go burr.
We go
Michael go burr indeed.
So they gave their two. Kyle, what was your season?
My season, well, I would have to say winter just because I think I love being out in the summer in the boundary waters. It's a lot of fun camping, but I think
No, you don't go in the summer to the Mountain Bars. The flies.
August is when we go.
That's-
Hopefully after the black flies. It depends on the
In
year.
Minnesota, August is fall.
Yeah, it's pretty much. But I think winter camping, I have the best memories because there's the time
Oh, yeah, it was
when I literally woke up underneath. So we used to do some things, me and my cousin, who he wasn't my cousin. He was my close relative, family friend that we just called a cousin. So like that close.
Mhm.
We would go winter camping sometimes. And we were out my uncle's back fields of his 150 acre farm. We were out in the woods right next to the elk ranch. And we ended up being, I think it was negative 40 that one night. And I woke up and the hot water bottle and the Nalgene bottle that I had filled up with boiling water the night before had frozen solid. And he had a better sleeping bag. He had a negative 25 degree rated sleeping bag, and I only had a negative 0 rated sleeping bag. And so my feet were actually frozen so solid that I couldn't move my toes. So
You're not helping your case on saying winter's your favorite.
Yeah,
but like it has the best memories. Like
Yeah.
winter camping, if like
There's a lot of things, yeah.
my toes are surviving right now because my cousin-in-law basically went out, not cousin-in-law, you know what I mean? He went out and he started a fire and I'm just like, I can't feel my feet. And he was just like, well, I'll go start a fire. And so he did. And then I remember it vividly, inch by detail. Like every single moment of every single winter camping trip I've ever been on has been recorded into my brain for eternity.
I can
Like
understand
it is
that.
waking
You have
up,
good memories.
yeah,
that's what it does.
waking up at sunrise to a winter morning outside of a tent.
Sunrise in winter is like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but like it's so
It
great.
lets you sleep. You can sleep in winter and still see the sunrise.
In Minnesota, yes. Yeah.
No, like I did winter camping in the Boundary Waters once, and it wasn't that cold. But I remember we woke up in the middle of the night. It was frigid, and we brought the dog, and it was a husky German Shepherd mix. And so all three of us, me, my dad, and my brother, woke up and were like frigid, and we had tons of blankets on us, but it was still like about 0, and it was just like, and it was so cold. And we look over at the dog, and he's sleeping on his back, like stomach
Hanging
up in there,
out.
and he's just like, and he's just out. We're like, buddy, come over here, and he just looks at us. He's like,
You're cold.
So we ended up like almost every night. We were basically, me, my dad, and my brother were spooning because it was the only way to stay warm, and we just didn't care. And I remember sleeping pretty well after that. But if you were in your own sleeping bag, it was impossible.
Yeah.
Body heat was the only way. Shared body heat.
Yep, that's how that's how you do it. You zip those suckers together and you just deal with it.
Sometimes you're camping and you end up spooning even if you don't want to. But that's
With a
another
hamster?
story. Like
That's not a winter story though, right?
no, like I have my favorite.
We're talking about seasons. He's like, I got a spooning story.
It's
I
Valentine's Day.
have my favorite camping story, but I've told it before, and it involves diesel-soaked logs and attacked ducks and spooning, and it was all happened the same night. It's crazy.
Spooning attack nuts.
Spooning attacked ducks. Yeah, I've told that story.
Yeah.
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 For my favorite season, though, I'd probably have to go with Michael for autumn, but it was probably for a similar reason to Kyle. Is I just have a lot of really good memories. Like my old neighbor, they used to have, or their family owned a grass. What was that? They cut
AstroTurf?
the not AstroTurf, but they would grow grass and then sell it.
Sod farm?
Regular
Sod
old
farm.
sod.
Yeah, they would grow sod farm. And so they had these just like large areas of it. And so they owned a lot of land on the kind of whatever. And so they would like every fall, they would have like these the giant bonfires. And so Halloween was always a really fun time for that. So they had these giant bonfires, the ones that you couldn't get anywhere near, like really tall ones.
Oh yeah.
And so it's that fire that you can get nice close to get warm, and then you can go away to get cooled off. And they would have like marshmallows and stuff, and it would be tons of people around just having fun, goofing off. Halloween was our thing. And that was also back at the time where fall was, at least for us around Halloween, was still 70 something. Like now,
It's pretty cold on Halloween's now.
now it's usually around 50 or colder. I mean, but that was when we had a heat wave. So fall for me has all these good memories of when I was younger, of going out, biking around, doing stupid crap when the temperatures were just like gorgeous during the day, gorgeous during the night. The smell of leaves on the ground. And like, it's just, I love fall for that. Plus my birthday's around then.
I also have a lot of really good fall memories, but I still think the winter ones are so serene compared to fall. They beat it out.
Oh, I have plenty of good like sledding and tubing. Plenty of good story.
Oh my
when it
God.
comes to that stuff.
The one story of where my cousin broke his leg. We had so my cousin's dad, who was my uncle, was a real estate agent, and they moved houses all the time. Like they were quite well off, but one house they had a sledding hill that was between trees that were like literally a person apart, and it was like they safetied the sledding. It was like 500 yards down a hill, and they ended up making a safety barrier without a hay bales. And so me and my 18 other cousins who would go to the birthday parties at my cousin's birthday, we would always have a broken limb every single year. It was great.
Was that ever you one year?
Huh? No. I never.
That's why it's
I never broke a bone.
Who's going to the hospital this time?
Exactly, but it's just like, well, who broke a wrist this year?
Yeah.
So like, those are just some of the best winter memories. Just sledding at 1 a.m. and then the next 5 days you've got the flu because everyone else had the flu.
Me and one of our friends, we would go to a sledding hill, and we did a game where we both had a sled, and then we would bring like a rope or something with us, and we would tie one leg to each other. And so, and it was a decent length rope, but we would go down the hill, and then you would start climbing back up the hill. But then one of us, either me or my friend, would just halfway up the hill, just jump back down just on their sled. But then that just makes you go woof, and you get yanked down the hill. Or
That's advanced, like.
it was fun.
Yeah, that's great.
Or we had one of them that at the bottom of it went back up to a road. And so our thing was, can we build enough speed to get ourselves onto the road The problem is it was live traffic.
Okay.
So we're just like tempting fate at this point. So yeah, no, I have tons of really fun memories from winter, but there's a serene feeling to autumn of just when you get a wind going through with everything that's going on, it's just something peaceful. And I just love it.
I think in general, a person's favorite season will be when they feel the most serene.
Mm-hmm.
So serenity, serenity is definitely the
which should never be summer.
Seasons.
Yeah.
The middle of summer is not
I
summer.
like the flowers in the spring, and I like the leaves changing in the fall.
Yeah. Spring, I would normally, it's a toss up sometimes between fall and spring, but spring is muddy, especially here because we got all the snow and then everything melts.
Yes,
and
it
it's
is
just
very muddy.
It's mud. Everything's growing and it smells nice. And there's just this feeling of like you're working into something great, but I don't like that it's just mud.
Yeah. Well, I garden in the spring though, which helps that feeling quite a bit. So.
Well, anyway, all right. I think we covered just about everything. I was making sure we were kind of getting the time, and I think we are. So we are actually I can more than we needed. So, but thank you for watching. So we can go through what we had made for drinks. John always wants to make sure because he brings the fancy drinks.
He does.
So
it's got ice on the outside.
He brought a James Bond style.
Don't put it on the table.
Look at it.
Oh no!
It's
I'm
all
spilling
over
water all over the place.
I only spilled nothing today.
This is a high quality table from Amazon, so it will definitely not.
It's not from IKEA.
No,
Jeff,
this was the cheapest one I could find. Stop making noises.
Jeff Bezos picked this out himself.
Yes. I asked for Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos definitely did something on this table.
But what did you bring, John?
I made martinis.
You did shaken, not stirred.
And so what is in it?
Gin and vermouth, and then the second round was vodka. And
it was vodka because he ran out of gin.
And so he gave some of us lemon in it, and then some had olives.
What a twist!
I prefer the olive in the martini, but
dirty.
I like the dirty virgin.
Also,
martinis.
olives are great.
Olives are great. Yeah, I do like them. Yeah.
You don't like olives?
That's fine.
It's not that I don't like them. I don't like them. I'm kind of like,
well, you don't like them on pizza. You probably won't like them in a drink.
Well, I don't like them on pizza because their flavor takes over. So
that's kind of why it's great, though. I love the salt.
If it was a flavor that could balance with all the other flavors, but as soon as you put that on there, every other flavor is gone, and that's what I don't
No,
like.
you just need a whole bunch of really rich flavors, like andouille sausage and a deep dish pizza with black olives.
Andouille is too big of a word to eat.
Yeah.
Like his hatred of olives is why I don't buy the Supreme
I just said
anymore.
I didn't hate them.
You do hate them though.
Does he pick them out of the pizzas?
He puts them all on one side, and it's the side he's not going to eat.
Well, there you go. That is the reason not to buy.
But if you were to do that with cucumber, like if there's a salad that had cucumber in it, I can't pick it out because even picking it out, I can still taste it, and then I don't like. But olives, if there's a little leftover juice, whatever, I'm fine. So that's why I'm saying I'm like, whatever. We're talking about drinks, not my love of olives.
Your hatred
so,
of olives.
Kyle,
olive
what were you
juice.
drinking?
So I brought a nitro beer, and it's actually the Guinness coffee nitro beer.
It was really good.
I had it was really smooth, and I approved it quite a bit. So.
Yes, he did. And so I did have one of those earlier. And the one I otherwise just drank kind of on the side was a Indie Brewing Loretta Dark Lager.
Was that a paddle or
a paddle? No. I have one of the paddle ones downstairs. Indeed, I like their honey one, but this one is nice because it's a darker lager and it's a smaller can. And this is only 5.6%. Well, the other one is 8. So a little less alcohol in it too. So, what did you have, Michael?
I had a Wine Havens
for my hometown.
Yeah, local.
In the middle.
I like Wine Haven. It's pretty good. They make pretty good stuff.
And
But
then you have
continue
a Truly as well.
and then a Truly.
It's Truly.
Our tradition is Michael always pops up a little bit later than normal because he has to pick up a 12-pack of Trulies. Yep. So anyway, so that will be everything for today. So thank you for watching.
The Wiz.
On the Wiz.
The Riz.
All right, so Michael.
What's the last word, Michael? What do you have for me?
Don't make sounds. Make a word.
Chicken yabos.
Chicken yabos.
I like that one.
Yabos.
Chicken yabos.
What is a chicken yabos?
It's the same as chicken bazongas, but yabos.